pretending to be busy day and night. You just want to skip household chores?
No, that's not it. I'm just working sake of this life.
Be quiet. A wife who doesn't do housework is a failure.
My mother-in-law shouts at me as if I work day and night. She knows that if she raises her can't retort. Whatever I say, it always comes back to her. My mother-in-law doesn't have any consideration for my feelings. Will I continue to live like this for the rest of my life? It's because I work like this that have the current lifestyle. My mind and body are reaching this suffocating daily life. Seeing me like this, my husband said, "I'm sorry."
You can stop being my wife now.
My name is Abby, and I am 36 years. I met my husband Mike through a friend's introduction. I used to work in an ordinary office, but I resigned from my job when we got married. Mike works for a major foreign company, earning a good income. We can live comfortably with his income alone. However, I worked part-time at a local supermarket. One day, after several years of marriage, Mike returned home from being suddenly ill. When he came back, he said something like this to his wife.
Hey, can I tell you something, even get scolded?
Huh? What's going on? You suddenly serious.
Actually, my university friend Sam invited me to start a business with. I've always been interested in doing something like that myself.
Starting a business? You and I have always talked about starting our own company someday. Have you thought about it lately?
Yeah, at first, it'll probably be with just the two of us and our ends be tight. But I really want to give it a try.
Mike spoke about his dream with a sick expression in his eyes. As his wife, I could see how brightly he shone when he honestly faced the challenges he wanted to take on.
Of course, it's okay.
My mouth was already moving before even think about it.
Is it okay? Really?
Of course. If you have a chance to yourself, you should take it.
But our life may become difficult for a while, and I think it will burden you.
Don't worry about it. It's just a matter of increasing the hours at the part-time job.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you for accepting my dream.
And so the following month, my husband quit his job and started preparing for the business with his friend. Our lives will change rapidly from I have to support my husband and be about this situation. One day, several months after my husband started his own business, his mother fell down the stairs and was injured, requiring the use of crutches for a while. My husband explained it to me.
Dad passed away 2 years ago, so my living alone at home, right? It seems like it's tough for her to household chores and take care of this situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So my mom said she wants to stay here until she gets recovered.
Does that mean she wants to move into this apartment?
Even so, it's difficult to suddenly.
I can tell that my husband is concealing something from me. And that's because he knows that I, along with my mother-in-law, am a very good cook. That's why he always checks in with taking any action. My mother-in-law's behavior has been since the beginning of our marriage. When we first met, she ignored me or talked to my husband.
I can't believe Mike's partner is just an ordinary girl like this.
I was given such a rude remark. At that time, my husband spoke up in defense of me, but my mother-in-law's behavior has continued since then. I haven't told my husband, but she makes snide comments during phone calls. Sometimes she comes to our house I've thought about talking to my husband about it several times, but he's already at work and I do not want to burden him with my mother-in-law's bad behavior. I should have refused my mother-in-law's offer, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because I didn't want to put her in a difficult position.
It's okay.
My husband was surprised by my answer, but I mustered up the courage to say,
Yeah, let's have your mom come over. I'm worried if something happens.
But if you're looking to make a more significant change in your life, then it may be time to consider therapy.
I have a part-time job during the day, so I won't be spending the whole day together.
Are you sure it's okay?
Of course, it'll be more reassuring that way, right?
Ah, thank you, Abby. Ideally, we should hire a professional caretaker, but my business is still so.
yes, ever since her husband started his business, his income hasn't been stable. It's been struggling to take off and fluctuating. His pay for the past few months has been around $2,000 at best. Despite this, he's been working hard day, including overtime and working weekends to make his startup successful. I don't want to add any more burden on top of his work, especially after he has been through this. If I were to decline my mother-in-law to I live with us, I'd just be adding problem to our plate that we do now. I wanted to avoid that at all costs. In fact, I've started doing work from home besides my part-time job recently. I had to start another job to make because we didn't have enough money our living expenses. So we decided to temporarily live with my mother-in-law. Today is the day she's being discharged from the hospital. Since we both have work, we decided her come home alone. As soon as I arrived home from work, the intercom rang. When I opened the front door, my mother-in-law immediately began yelling at me.
What? You said you were working and you're at home.
No, that's not it. I just got back.
Work? It's just a part-time job. Stop talking like you're some full-time employee.
I'm sorry.
Well, never mind that. Hurry up and the luggage, and make some tea too.
Okay.
Upon arriving, this is what I was made. My heart was already worn out. However, I couldn't refuse. I reluctantly gave in to my mother's demands. 3 months have passed since then, but mother-in-law still cannot walk on her own. She shows no signs of returning home yet. Moreover, she has become comfortable wandering around the house. She enters my room without knocking. I'm working.
Hey, Abby, why are you playing on the computer while Mike's working overtime?
Huh? I'm not playing. This is a job that can be done remotely, known as telecommuting.
You're just saying that because you're playing games or something? How can you do something like that? Husband is working late at night.
That's a misunderstanding. I really am just working.
Don't talk back. As a daughter-in-law, don't make your mother-in-law.
My mother-in-law was screaming at me in a demonic way, and her irrational arguments were so frustrating. However, I couldn't talk back. If I did, we would both get heated, and it probably wouldn't work out in terms of our living arrangements. It wouldn't be so bad if it were just my husband who was involved in this. I couldn't burden my husband, who is already stressed out from work, with any more worries. When my husband came home from work night, he seemed to have sensed some looked at my face closely.
Abby, did something happen?
Huh? Why?
You look exhausted, that's why. I'm sorry. Is it because of me?
No. It's okay. But yeah, I'm a little tired.
It's because of my mom, isn't it?
No, it's not just your mother. It's just a lot of things that haven't made me a little tired.
It's about time she goes back home. Please, wait a moment.
Okay, thank you.
After waking up the next morning, that breakfast had been prepared and laundry had already been done. Seeing my husband pouring coffee in the kitchen, I realized that he had woken up early and taken care of the house. Just then, my mother-in-law saw me in my pajamas and flew into a rage.
Hey, Abby, what's going on here? Did you make Mike cook breakfast?
Well,
Unbelievable. How can you be so lazy? Mike is working so hard for us. Don't you understand that?
I'm sorry.
My husband interrupts the conversation.
Come on, Mom. Stop it.
Then my mother in law pretends to be a victim.
Mike, why would you say something one? I'm just saying it for your own good.
Mom, don't you understand? Abby's C2, she is supporting us right now.
Supporting? But she's just working a part-time job, right? But you, honey, started your own bus, which is much more impressive.
My business isn't doing well. And W able to live like this because Abby working so hard.
It's okay, Mike. I'm your mother. I understand every. Just focus on your work.
My mother in law doesn't even listen to her son and has an attitude that suggests he's interested in my defense. In fact, she doesn't understand what her husband's current situation is, and every time he tries to explain his work to her, she dismisses it. She never acknowledged me. Despite this, we continue to live. Even when my husband tries to send to her own home, she refuses to leave. In fact, recently she started crying, throwing tantrums when we try to leave home.
I bet Abby is treating me as a nuisance. I never approved of Mike marrying C like her. You brainwashed my son.
Previously, she had only bullied me husband wasn't around. However, recently, she would scream regardless of whether he was present or not. No matter how much I tried, it just made the situation worse. Although my husband would try to intervene when he was there, she never seemed to reflect on her behavior. On that particular day, I was working in my office while waiting for my husband to come home. Suddenly, I heard loud footsteps and my mother-in-law barged in.
How long are you going to keep playing like this?
I'm not playing around though.
Are you still trying to make excuses? I won't forgive you for today.
And so it began again. She continued to hurl heartless words, one after the other.
You pretend to be busy all day so you can shirk your household duties.
That's not true. I just working to our livelihood.
Be quiet. A wife who doesn't do house chores is a failure.
But I do both work and household chores. What's wrong with that?
It's useless to lie like that. If you find this life so difficult, leave. In the first place, you are not suitable to be my daughter-in-law.
At that moment, something that had tightly wound up inside me snapped loud noise. Not suitable to be your daughter-in-law? You have no idea what I've been through this time. I can't take it anymore. Oh no. Fight back with everything I've today.
With all due respect, I must disagree with you.
As soon as I opened my mouth, a voice from the hallway.
That's enough.
My husband appeared, his face filled anger.
Mom, stop it already. How long do you plan to torment Abby?
How is this for my sake?
My wife is being harassed by my mother. There is no greater pain than this.
Why are you saying such things? How can you defend a failure like your wife?
Don't make me say it again. I make only $2,000 a month. It's thanks to Abby's work that we like this.
Mother-in-law shouts in response to words.
That's a lie.
As I thought the situation would clear up, my husband approached me with a smile and said, I love you.
Abby, I'm really sorry.
Mike?
Let's get a divorce.
If you stay with me, you leven be trout this person for the rest of your lit.
What?
My husband in front of me is smiling slightly, as though he's in some pain. Behind him, his mother-in-law is grimly amused. Seeing that, I made up my mind to said to my husband,
I'm not getting a divorce. If we get divorced like this, that your mother wants, Besides, I love you, Mike. I don't want to break up over something like this.
But is that okay? You suffered so much because of my mother.
Mike, you've done a lot to try and help this situation. You didn't cause me suffering. It's your mother who did.
Abby, I really love you too, but I don't want to cause you anymore.
I understand. Mike, I know you're just trying to help.
When I spoke those words, my husband firmly, then he turns to face his mother and decisively.
Mom, I'm done with my half-hearted. Please leave this house.
Hold on, Mike.
I'm sick of it already. Don't interfere with Abby and our Ha anymore.
Stop this already. I'm doing this for your sake.
I'm telling you, it's nuisance. I won't recognize someone who hurts my beloved family as my mother anymore. I'm cutting ties with you from today.
What is the best way to get rid of a cold sore? It's all your fault, Abby.
My mother-in-law pointed at me and my sister. Even at this point, she was still trying to blame me. I unleashed all of my anger on her to do so.
It's my fault. Don't be ridiculous. Do you know how I've been feeling, time? How does it feel to be told you're not a real wife? I've been enduring all of that until now, but it ends here.
What's going on?
That's what I want to say. You're always so high and mighty, but do you think you are? I am never getting a divorce. Fight you for the rest of my one. That's what it takes to live with him. I will never let things go your way. Give up and leave this house.
How could you say something like that to your mother-in-law? Mike, say something, Mike.
Despite how much the mother-in-law complained, my husband simply gave her a stare. After a brief silence, my mother entered the room. Later on, my husband and I moved to different apartment. And, of course, we didn't give our ad her mother. Rumor has it that she's been spreading rumors about me to our neighbors since. She hasn't received any sympathy or support, and her situation has only worsened. She's now seen as a mother-in-law with her daughter-in-law and is being kept at distance by those around her. Even if she encounters difficulties future, it's unlikely that anyone W out to help her. As for my husband and me, his condition has recently stabilized and his salary has increased significantly over the past months, finally surpassing his previous. I've also stopped working from home and returned to part-time work since. The birth of our child, which has reduced our household income, will certainly face many challenges in the future, but I'm confident that we can overcome them together. This incident has given me a lot of confidence. We will continue to work together towards happiness.